Paul was never an apostle. Why? Because he never met the requirements to be an apostle, so stop treating him like one. And if you want to test this, go read Acts 1. When Judas fell, the office wasn't left vague, and it wasn't left open for some later man with a dramatic experience to step into. The believers gave actual requirements. The replacement had to be someone who had been with them the whole time Yahusha walked among them. From the immersion of Yohanan, John, until the day that he was taken up. He had to be part of that original witness circle. He had to stand as a witness of the resurrection with them. That's the standard. Paul didn't meet it. Paul wasn't there from the immersion of Yohanan, John the Baptist. Paul didn't walk with Yahusha during that ministry window, and Paul wasn't part of that original government circle. Matthias was. That's why Matthias was chosen. So let's say it plain. The vacancy was already filled. The office was already accounted for, and the text already settled the matter. That means whatever Paul was, he wasn't the replacement apostle of Acts 1. He wasn't one of the 12, and he didn't meet the stated requirements for the office people keep handing him. And that's not opinion, that's the text. So now, let me ask some important questions. Why does the entire Christian system act like Paul is the lens for everything? Why is Paul used to reinterpret Torah? Why is Paul used to soften obedience? Why is Paul used to explain away Yahusha's own words? Why do people run to Paul first and then force Yahusha to agree with him afterward? Because once Paul becomes the center, the standard can be moved. And that's the danger. The issue isn't whether Paul wrote letters. The issue isn't whether Paul mattered historically. The issue is authority. If Yahusha's own followers gave requirements for the office and Paul didn't meet them, then Paul can't be treated like he holds the same governing authority as the men who actually walked with Yahusha from the beginning. But that's exactly what Christianity did. It built a religion where Paul is functionally untouchable, even though he didn't meet the requirement for the office they act like he held. And that's why I built the course, because most people have never been taught how to test authority, classify teachings, or trace the covenant structure underneath the text. They've been handed fragments, slogans, and doctrines with no framework to judge them. Inside the course, I break all that down. I walk through the Yahusha Codex, the axis structure of his teachings, the covenant standard he upheld, and the deeper framework that exposes how later systems twisted the message and moved the center away from Yahusha. So if you're tired of Paul-filtered doctrine, church tradition, and soundbite theology with no way to test any of it, that's exactly what the course is for. It's built to give you structure, not slogans, not vibes, but structure. So read Acts 1 again, read the requirement, read who qualified, read who was chosen, and if you're ready to stop letting other people interpret Yahusha for you, get in the course at school.com/undeniable truths and learn how to test the system for yourself.